I've been homeless once upon a time. Someone offered me weed and liquor. You know what happened to my insides? A nice guy isn't good enough in this life. It's not. A nice guy will crack under pressure when you need him. The most. A nice guy will break. If you want to build a family, everybody must respect the chain of command in the family. Father comes first, then the wife, then the eldest child, and so on. Let's talk about all the girls and all the money they make with OnlyFans. Wait, what?
So Adam, we're rolling, bro. We're shooting.
Hello, you guys ready?
Yeah, dude, we're born ready, man.
All right.
We do this every day.
Go ahead.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Living it up or what?
My guy, we're trying, man.
Yes.
Living,
It's
living.
pleasure meeting you, man.
Flipping.
Dude, so this guy pulls up with a whole squad. I'm like, when I pulled up, when I opened the door, I was like, did I invite the president of the United States or who's here?
Bro. The flipping mafia walked in, dude. That's all I know.
Yeah, and you guys are all built. You guys work out together?
Yeah, we lift.
Yeah.
You guys actually live together, though?
Yeah.
Oh, I
that's
respect
fire.
it. I respect
Depending
it.
on the schedules, once in a while we get a pump in.
Nice. Hell yeah.
What gym you go to?
I have like 5 memberships. Mm-hmm. I go to a different gym for a certain body part sometimes. Sometimes just
Different gym for a
No,
certain
actually, that actually
body
makes a
part?
lot of sense. Because
Yeah.
you ever like go to the one
You're
random.
never gonna find a one.
You go to one-off gym and you're like, nobody has this shoulder machine.
Yeah.
And you're like, flipping, I want to use this every time.
Yeah, some gyms will have certain equipment for like a military press or whatever. Like I like to do my workouts where I start off like compound, with all my lifts, and then I kind of make it to, and then I go into the complex motions and stuff like that. But OC is a little different than the East Coast, with when it comes to gyms and whatnot. So, I mean, if you really want to get a full-on lift, you got to drive to Venice every night. But when I first moved here in 2018 to California, I used to work my 13, 14-hour shift in the day and, drive an hour to Venice every night and work out and come home. Everybody thought I was nuts, but nobody understood what I was doing. But then again, people's opinions never pay your bills.
Facts.
So you would work a 13-hour shift and then you would drive an hour
Yeah, I had
to go get a workout in?
Yeah.
What were you doing 13 hours a day?
So I was working like a machine. I was basically just breaking national records as an originator every single day. And I attribute a lot of my success to my prior, background being an investment banker with JP Morgan. Because I tapped into lending in 2017, but putting your brain under that high amount of stimulation requires a lot of preparation and a lot of nurture, right? So like that hour drive I would take to Venice, I sit in silence for 30 minutes, and then and then I drink my pre-workout, and then the other hour, those 30 minutes, what I'm doing is, I'm literally prepping my mind for what I'm about to do. Sometimes follow up for phone calls, family members, whatever, because I have no social life sometimes, like I literally have zero social life. I live a very, very intense life, and not everyone's going to understand it, and that's okay. But I have to take these extra steps, to recover. Sometimes I'll be listening to podcasts to mentally condition my mind, kind of like David Goggins says, you have to callous your brain. But yeah, you got to callous it, but the way to do that is with repetition. You can't just show up to the gym one day a week or show up to the office one day a week and do good and not show up the rest of the days.
So how old are you, dude?
I am 33 now.
33. So you're very young. That's
So
awesome,
what?
dude. So I could already tell from just the way you talk. You're obviously a very high performer.
Yeah.
You're the type of individual who's always running. Does this come from family? Was this taught to you, or was this more of a natural thing that came to you? Or
the high performance thing, I've always been one to be just obsessed with going beyond human boundaries, because I personally was never satisfied with what humans do. I never liked seeing how humans acted, and I never cared. Now, don't get me wrong, there's extraordinary humans. The way God, I believe, made humans is a beautiful thing. I believe that, humans are extraordinary creatures, but what mankind chose to do messed up a lot of things. And I understand that a lot of things have been diluted in the world. Like, for example, if we go back to our father's generation, their testosterone was 100x us. Why was that? And I asked myself, so I started getting into depth of why is the work ethic gone to shit? It can't just all be cultural, right? Something had to allude to get to that level of shift. And I believe that there's a, chemical, warfare on humanity and mankind as it is, because right now they're trying to propagate an agenda, whatever the hell it is. I don't care what the agenda is, right? If you try to propagate an agenda when overall men's testosterone is super high, it's really, really hard to do that, right? It's kind of like when we talk about our dads. It's really, really hard to convince our dad of something. Mm-hmm. Why? Because they're older generation. Their brains were wired a different way, having such a higher level of testosterone than us.
Yeah.
It's just natural. And it's not like, oh, you're going to go work out. Yeah, there's things you could do, but there's a chemical warfare because, the plastics, anything we touch, there's chemicals literally manifested into the world to specifically dilute a male's testosterone. What does that do? It dilutes the man of being able to make self-cognitive decisions. It dilutes the man of being able to stand up and say no to shit. Yeah, a man is less capable of danger. He knows that. So a guy is typically going to be a nice guy. And I'll get into talking to guys about nice guys and good guys, because I preach and I coach a lot of young men that there's a big difference between a good man and a nice man.
Oh, we're going to get into that. I can't wait.
We were actually we were talking about that literally last week, right? Because his whole thing is like we were discussing on like, hey, how do you like as a leader be assertive but also be quote unquote nice, right? And like my whole philosophy has always been like the whole concept. What did I say something wrong? Maybe
no. I'm trying to remember what it was I said.
But we were talking. Remember, it was like post podcast, like 2 weeks ago. Yeah. So it's interesting because I'd love your take on that. Because in my opinion, I think being nice comes down to just ethics. In my opinion, right? Like again, my opinion could be like.
I'm gonna break it down for you in a completely different light, and you're gonna look at nice completely differently. And I'm gonna wake you up in a couple seconds.
Go ahead. I'm listening.
You're on a roll, bro.
Yeah.
But
just
this is why I'm taking notes, by the way, because I want to have proper questions later.
So here's the deal. First of all, I want to just go back. I'm going to rewind and I'm going to go back and talk to you about, why I believe that men are falling apart. They've diluted the world of men making decisions. So it's easier to propagate an agenda on men today because their testosterone is low. So if you try to do what they're doing right now in today's agenda back in, 1945, 1950, our fathers would create a revolution and take over the world. Yeah. It wouldn't work, right? And when a man's testosterone is naturally lower, if you think about it, they're not as driven, they're not as focused, not as motivated, they're not as aggressive to certain things, they're not as in control, right? They're easily controlled, and divorce rate is up. And if you think about a woman wants to be with a man. It doesn't matter if it's this or that, she just wants a man. You know what I'm saying? It has nothing to do with what's in his wallet, what's in his pocket. Money and all this stuff and success, all that follows. I see a lot of guys that got a lot of money, but they're not men. They're all like, oh, okay, honey, here's my debit card. Like, you really want to fucking live that life?
Right.
Like, you think the woman really, really respects him? She could lie to herself all she wants. I respect my man. Well, you don't respect the guy. The guy's not a man.
Right.
By nature, you can't fight nature. You literally can't fight nature. And I feel like a lot of men are confining in wrong things. Like, for example, if a man's having a problem, I don't believe in going to another female and crying to a female is an okay thing. I believe that iron sharpens iron. And if I got a problem, I'm going to go to my boys. I'm going to talk to my boy. I'm like, yo, this is what's going on. 1, 2, 3. I need to go back and be the leader for my family. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of guys fall into the trap of like, oh, it's okay, honey. Come cry to me. When a guy cries in front of his wife, or people are like crying their emotions out to a female, look, yeah, she'll listen to you. She'll tell you it's okay. But by nature, subconsciously, there's something that just breaks. There's something that just breaks. Mm-hmm. By nature, a woman's naturally not going to feel safe around that.
Right.
Period. I don't give a shit what you say. You bring any scholar, this, that. You can't fight nature. So this alluded all the way to, and I didn't hear this from a script. I didn't hear this from no tape book. I didn't hear this from no bullshit speech. This literally is just from my life and my experiences, what I've been enduring the past few years in business. And yeah, I am an aggressive, sharp guy. But when you're at war, when you're on the battlefield, when you're out there, fighting for what's right and doing what you need to do as a man, you learn about people's nature. Here's what I want to say: a nice guy isn't good enough in this life. It's not. A nice guy will crack under pressure when you need him. The most. A nice guy will break. A nice guy will be nice to you because he's just trying to get by. You ever kick somebody's ass in elementary school? Why are they always nice to you all of a sudden? Because they don't want to get their ass kicked. But if you were down on your knees or something happened, you're down on your feet, that nice guy will try to whack you when you're not looking. He's a nice guy. How are you going to trust a fucking nice guy? Now, let me talk to you about a good man. A good man is not always nice. Okay? A good man is kind, but he's not always nice. Right? But when it comes down to being able to trust a good man and making sure that they don't crack under pressure when you need them the most, they're not going to crack. Because it takes strength to be good. That's the definition of a nice guy and a good guy. It's good to be a good, kind-hearted man. But, like, let's just say you had a family member and they're halfway across the world, okay? And they needed medicine delivered by a certain time. Who are you going to trust? Who are you going to you know that they're going to go through probably battle, fights, resistance.
Right, they're gonna get into arguments. Absolutely,
they're gonna go through all kinds of shit.
Stuff's gonna break along the way. A nice guy is not gonna be willing to go through putting someone else through trouble to get his way in order to. It makes sense. 100%.
And if it's life or death, you ask yourself when you're choosing business partners, when you're choosing people or brothers or this or that. How many times do you hear these guys say, "Oh, these guys screwed me over"? Why you gotta be a fucking victim? You gotta know these things should be taught to you as a kid. Men should know these resources when they were children. Mm-hmm. You should know what's going on. Oh, they screwed me over. Why you gotta be a victim? No, understand the difference between a nice guy and a good guy, and know who deserves love and care, and know who doesn't. And take care of you. Like you asked them, like, what do these people do? These guys follow me anywhere. Wherever I go, they go. It's not because I'm a nice guy to them, because I'm a good man.
Hell yeah.
They've been through some shit.
Mm-hmm.
I was there. I've been through some shit. They were there blindly.
Yeah.
So what's your? By the way, I love this.
This is great.
Yeah. This is like fire me up, dude.
We're not talking about LV.
Yeah.
Bentley, my ass.
Oh yeah. By the way, Bentleys are trash, according to this guy.
Look, my fucking Apple Play doesn't work, and a fucking $330,000 car is just bullshit. So I feel like I'm the one that got hustled here on that one.
Hold on.
Fucking Apple Play doesn't even
Bentley's made by who? Like who are they?
Volkswagen.
Volkswagen makes
and Rolls
Bugattis,
Royce.
dude. It's like
the Rolls Royce is made by BMW, right? Bro, the same bull crap that you'll have in a BMW, you get in a Rolls Royce. The same thing. The electronics all mess up. This and that. Just the simplest of mechanical issues.
I want to say this.
Ridiculous.
I grew up in the Motor City. I grew up in Detroit.
Yeah.
I know a thing or two about cars.
Right.
The best car, and I don't give a shit what anybody says, the best car ever built by man,
Ford F-150.
does the W140, 1996 to 1999 S500 Mercedes-Benz.
oh,
That is the most expensive car ever built on the German assembly line, period.
You said 96 to what?
96 to 99, it's the
baby,
S500.
Write it down, bro. Go buy it. Go buy it.
That's a flipping
He'll lend you the money for it, actually.
That's a baller car, bro.
In 1996, to buy that car, you need 130 grand to buy the car. But don't get me wrong, the back seats reclined. It had heated seats in the back, and it had TVs. In 96.
Yeah.
They don't make them like that anymore, man.
So the only thing it didn't have was what? A navigation. It had vacuum sealed doors. It had soundproof windows that were practically damn near bulletproof. The car was made of steel. So and honestly, till today, I haven't seen a car that drives as smooth as it. That was a whip.
I know we're off topic here, but why'd you get a Bentley?
Oh, so I've always been a Mercedes guy, and
Arab.
So yeah.
You like Benz? I used to like them growing
It's not
up.
even that, dude. I just need a car that I fit. I'm not the tallest guy. I'm only like 6'2", 6'3", but like
You're pretty tall, bro.
it's the width. it's the width.
Yeah.
At some places I got wide hips. I go to restaurants. I've broken a few chairs with my fat ass. Like it's embarrassing. So they make shit really small. You know what I'm saying? I just have wide bones. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
There's a wide guy. You know, so. It's just the S-Class has always been the most comfortable four-door sedan. You know, it's just that the past couple of years they started screwing up. COVID manufacturing had a brand new S-Class and fully loaded. You know, the whole TVs and all the upgraded sound system and all that shit. But it fried on the road in the middle of the damn road. It just died. I'm like, dude, it's 2022. How the hell are you gonna tell me a brand new S-Class just died?
Those are nice S-Classes.
You know, I feel like production for cars.
They're nice, but they're just shit.
Amazing.
They're just shit.
Yeah, you're not
like
paying
I can
all that
lift
much
the
money.
side of the when I pull on the fender area, I can like lift a piece of the car. Like it's not you just there's a difference. It's all fiberglass. It's not built. It's got nice buttons.
My guy, let's get it straight here. I think you can lift any car, bro.
Nah.
Bro, this guy,
especially with your squad right here.
Yeah, bro. All three of these guys, bro, they'll lift an 18-wheeler. Let's go.
That's my parking spot. You'll grab it and move it real quick.
Some Franco Colombo days.
Oh, that's hilarious. But going back, so, I'm curious. So when it comes to choosing your circles or selecting the people that do kind of spend time around you, like what process do you go through mentally to say, okay, this guy's worth my time and this guy isn't?
Sorry guys. It's actually a really good question. The process that I look at is like when you choose on who I'm going to allow in my circle is, number one, are they going to mentally tax me? Number two, what's their nature like, right? What do they do, right? And nothing wrong against people that are not athletes or anything, but I grew up an athlete my whole life. I grew up, doing martial arts since I was 6 years old. I ended up doing MMA up until I was 19. I played football my whole life, and I've been a power lifter. And I've always been physically active, and just I genuinely believe that most athletes have just a different sportsmanship to life, especially when you're in an office. In a corporate space, some people would laugh at the bodybuilder and shame them for just being the bigger dude or just having a bigger appetite or whatnot. But then again, it's like they don't understand what it means to be an athlete. So then again, you just don't care about people's opinions. Mm-hmm. And then when I leave and I'm around athletes, some of these people run circles around your typical corporate guy. They know a lot about health and wellness. They understand how peptides work. They understand how to, take care of the body. I mean, at the end of the day, man, you can have all the money in the world, but if you look like shit and you can't even see your dick when you piss because you got a gut, you really think your wife is going to want you? I'm being real.
No, bro, go ahead.
I'm just being real, bro. Like, I'm serious. If you're not physically healthy, what's the point? What's the point? I know a lot of dudes that have a lot of money. Cool. Great. But they can't even run a mile.
Yeah. Are you in a relationship?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a fiance.
Oh, very nice.
Yes,
congrats.
Sir.
Obviously whatever you're comfortable sharing.
Whatever you want.
What dynamic, is she more of an introverted individual, or is she
when it comes to men and women, I believe that I believe a household should always maintain, because I came from a broken home. It's fucked up. It is what it is. What do you want me to do? Cry about it or do something about it, right? I learned, and you move on, and you become a beast. I believe that to maintain a household, you need to understand that there needs to be a kingdom-like structure of a chain of command. And I don't want to speak this to the world, and the world needs to hear my voice on this. If you want to build a family, everybody must respect the chain of command in the family. The father comes first, then the wife, then the eldest child, and so on. I don't give a shit who's right or wrong. It doesn't fucking matter. It's about the chain of command. Everything else can be resolved, right? Clearly, to a certain point of respect, some people have crossed certain boundaries. I understand. But to maintain a healthy family from the beginning, the female must understand that dynamic, and she must come from a dynamic of that where she understands and respects it. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy because a lot of people sit there and put the role of a man on a female and put the role of a man on or vice versa, right? It just doesn't work. It doesn't work. There's no such thing as, we're 50-50. Get the fuck out of here, bro. That doesn't work. 50-50, my fucking ass. All right, babe, I just took out the trash. Your turn. Are you fucking kidding me? Okay, go take out the trash. How's it gonna look? You know what I'm saying? Or like, oh shit, babe, someone's at the door downstairs. Oh man, it's your turn. Go save us.
Have you
50-50? It works, right?
Yeah. I asked.
It should be 100-100.
Yeah, I hear you.
She has her 100% rules. There's boundaries I will never cross.
Yeah.
You can't. And then there's boundaries that man should be in 100% invite. Like everybody should be 100-100. They got to know their roles, And I feel like from adolescence, I was speaking earlier, people don't understand the dynamic of how men should be and how women should be. Like when I meet younger gentlemen, right? And when I was a young kid, people used to say, "Oh man, I wish I was 15 again." I was thinking to myself, I'm like, "Fuck, why do you wish you're 15 again? I thought you're a G." I was like, what the fuck? I don't want to make sure I'm So I meet a kid, I'd be like, yo, you think I wish I was 15 again? Like, nah, bro, I did what I had to do. And the kid looks at you different. He's like, fuck, all right, this guy's a role model. I want to be like that motherfucker. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, every time when you were younger, how many times did you see somebody say, oh, I wish I was your age again?
All the
Why
time.
would you wish?
I mean, it's really funny because the reality of the situation is if you don't have what it takes to start right now, as if you were that young again, then going back to 15, you're gonna make the same mistakes. If you didn't have what it took at 15, that means you don't have what it takes right now. You should be able to achieve anything at the same time.
Yeah.
At any time.
Yeah, it's interesting because there's a lot of we're from like the Arab world, man. Like I talk to a lot of ammos and stuff like that, and like you hear their old school mentality, and I go, what? Like I want to throw at you a question. What's your concept on owning a home or like this American dream? Because in my opinion, I think it's complete bullshit. Right, I think owning a home, unless it's like for like an investment or some sort of property, or you're doing it to like build a portfolio, you're not necessarily doing much for yourself except creating a black hole of just money that you're spending for nothing.
Here's the thing with home ownership: if you're making peanuts, right, and you need to get a home, I believe every situation is relative. Like every situation is unique unto its own. Owning a home is not a bad thing. That's bullshit. You got all these guru investors and this and that saying, oh, buying a house. Bro, like that's honestly clickbait. To be real, people have been buying homes since fucking day one. Like buying a home is the worst. Are you fucking retarded? Like how do you tell the world that, it's stupid to buy a house? Like I don't understand that. Every situation is unique. So it's like when I was being, mentored at JP Morgan when I was younger, the first thing they taught us, know enough so you can have the right to say something, right? So understanding these things. So when I meet a client for the first time, every situation is unique unto its own. Mm-hmm. You may be a single guy looking to buy investment properties. This guy may be a guy with a wife and kids. He needs a stable home to send his kids to a certain foundation, must be a resident of a certain zip code, right? Every situation is different. So understanding, the complexities of people's situations and being able to take a comprehensive approach to actually build some type of platform for them to help them get to the next level of their goals gives you the right to actually have a right to say something. So you're not a salesperson, you're more of an advisor. You get what I'm saying? Like at my company, I don't teach my guys to sell. Fuck a salesman. You think I'm trying to teach my guys to be a sales guy? Nobody gives a fuck about a sales guy. People trust advisors. People want to listen to somebody that knows enough about you. People only do business with you when you show them that you give a shit about them. So it gets to the point where I'm no longer selling. I'm advising, and I'm actually interviewing if you're going to be a right fit for me. Back in 1950, when people needed a loan, they used to go to the bank and wear their Sunday special. Dress up really nice to impress who?
The banker.
Yeah. Today, you got clients with their heads up their ass and all kinds of debt, and then they got an attitude. Yo, what can you do for me? See, that entitled attitude doesn't work. Certainly doesn't work with me.
Bro, that triggered me so hard right now. What can you do for me? It's like you flipping. It's usually Arabs too.
Interviews got to the point where, like, I would interview people, and they would automatically assume that, like, if it doesn't work out at this job, I'll call you. I was like, call you? I'm like, we're not hiring you. I'm like, we built a platform where you need to get in. This is Harvard of lending. This is Harvard. I'm going to go to Harvard and tell them, hey, I'll let you know to the dean when I feel like coming to Harvard. What are they going to do?
They'll kick you out. I love the mentality because but it's a rare mentality to have though. It's not something you see often. But again, it goes to show you started your business in 2020. You said your mortgage business.
Yes, sir.
And you're how many team members now?
So we basically, between me and my partner company, which is the eMortgage Capital, together as a whole, we are nearly 1,000 agents deep. But my specific sector in my branch, we're 100 plus right now, and we pretty much originally partnered with Rocket a long time ago. I let them go in the summertime. I dissolved everything, and I basically have the opportunity. I'm mentored directly from Matt Ishbia, the CEO and founder of United Wholesale Mortgage. And, that guy has been nothing but a blessing. So if you're going to have a leader, I put up on my post today, make sure that your leader has actually gone to the depths of the oceans, come back and actually succeeded. So that guy's like a big brother to me, a coach. He's a blessing. And, at the end of the day, when you look at the scoreboard, Rocket funded what, 4.4 billion, 4.7 billion, something last quarter. One of the hardest markets, right? Cool. You know how much UWM funded? Nearly 37 billion.
Wow.
So at the end of the day, you could talk about this, talk about that. who cares about the drama? Just keep winning. Focus on winning. Look at the scoreboard, right? And I'm here to win. I'm here to provide service to my loan officers and provide service for the world. We're a broker where we have, extracted the resiliency of the retail side of technology, and we've extracted the wholesale side of pricing amongst 130 lenders in 40 states, and we're able to deliver that to a client. And, concierge level of service, right? And clients will know. They'll know if you're legit or not. They'll look you up real quick. People know. We got Google these days, And with the way we're branded right now and what we're offering, we have a proprietary process as a lender. It's literally an academy. It's literally kind of like the police academy. You come in, you become a vault king or a vault queen. You build your own branch. You're able to support a retail model or a wholesale model under you, which is independent space. So we are the true pioneers of perfecting the craft of the independent model in the broker space. So when we onboard somebody, we give you structure for marketing. We give you structure for onboarding. We give you structure for your team, and we give you control and complete accessibility to product.
So you're like an incubator.
Literally, we're taking over broker shops and LOs and giving them the best accessibility they could possibly have. And at the end of the day, if they're doing well and supporting their family and they're helping the world, I'm happy. But if not, and you don't want to be a part of the winning team, we're not desperate. We're only looking for classy gentlemen, classy women, people that want to win, people that are good people, not a nice guy. You get what I'm saying? Because you can hire a nice guy because you feel bad for him for 2 minutes, but then they're going to crack after month 2. That's not good for business. You guys understand the concept? I know it's a little bold when I talk about a nice guy and a good guy, but you got to look a little deeper into it. Cut the emotion out of it. How many times has the world been screwed by a nice guy that cracked under pressure and sold out anything just so he can temporarily alleviate himself? I believe that when you're trying to temporarily alleviate yourself, that creates wars.
You got a level of intensity that I hella respect. I just got to give it that to you.
I can't keep up, dude. I can't keep up.
No. I love it. I think it's definitely. I mean, it goes to show, like, obviously your success is for a reason. Like immediately once you started talking 5 minutes in, I'm like, okay, I get it. Sorry. But I want to ask you something. Take me back to childhood. Okay. Why are you like this? What, like, tell me, like, a specific moment in time where, like, life hit you. Because us kids, we grow up, we're nice people. Like, I know you talk, like, we're soft. We tend to, like, be a certain way. We're innocent.
We were kind.
Yeah.
Maybe,
we're like,
maybe to adjust his question a little bit. Because you seem like a guy who's very reflective, self-reflective, but also reflective upon situations. You know what I mean? You can look at something, you can derive lessons from it, and then through that is how you apply to do something better. You seem like the kind of guy, yes or no?
Yeah.
Absolutely. So what through your childhood or through your environment on the East Coast would you say caused you to reflect a certain way to build you into how you are now?
I don't know. Maybe it's because I watched Lion King when I was little.
Mobo's like, I'm gonna be Simba, bro.
No, I'm just kidding.
This whole elaborate question.
No. So I'll be real with you guys. That is a good question. I believe that one of the biggest triggers was I've always had a competitive nature, and I believe even before God decided to test me and put me through my trials, I just moved at a very, very fast pace. I knew that my mind moved faster than most. I did experience loneliness, and I did experience a lot of stress growing up as a kid. And sometimes when you move at a capacity that's a lot faster than most, whether it's physically or mentally, you kind of feel like you're not good enough. And I said this to a couple people from my past. I said, the best thing that ever happened to me was the feeling of not being good enough. I still deal with that.
That's why I asked the question, because I could tell.
Yeah.
It's like 100%, man. Guys like him. There's here. I'm not saying this.
The way you said that was almost backhanded.
No. I'm saying this with all love. Like any sort of like entrepreneur. Like if you study entrepreneurs and people who actually grow big businesses, it comes from a place of like lack.
I'll take it
like,
one further.
Like, I want to go further because I don't know if this is enough or.
What I'm saying is I'll take what you're saying. I'll take it one further. I think naturally when you look at the three basic psychological needs of all human beings, competency, relatedness, and autonomy, right? Having control. Men, most of our insecurities will stem from competence, the need for competence. Where I feel like women, most of their insecurities, they stem from the need of autonomy, wanting control, which is why they're naturally manipulative. But that's a different conversation. So naturally, I feel like men are always going to have insecurities.
So women will be recessive, men will be forceful.
Yes. In order to combat the insecurity of being incompetent.
The best thing I heard, and it was the truest damn thing, men are born with no fucking value. Andrew Tate said that shit?
Yeah.
Right? He said...
No what, sorry?
No value.
Andrew Tate said men are born with absolutely no value, shit. And they have to earn it and build themselves through this life, which I understand. That's just how the way the world works. And women are born at their max peak value, and it declines over time, which is realistic. So there is a crossing point, though. And at that point in time, right, where the guy's on the high and the woman's on the decline, you know, decisions must be made, and self-realizations must, you know, be implemented. And if they're not respected, there will be the continuance of what the hell is going on in the world. Mm-hmm. You can't fight nature. You can't. But stemming back to my childhood, I believe that, you know, I've always been wired this way since I was a kid. I always have been. And, you know, I didn't experience too much, you know, it wasn't a good, I didn't say like, I don't mean like, oh, I wasn't good enough where like it was an insecurity or it wasn't, or it was like a jealousy. It was always like, I always shot for the sky and I was like, shit, I'm not good enough to jump on that building. What do I got to do? It's like, I would think beyond it, right? And people thought I was nuts and I didn't give a shit. I was like, fuck your opinions. You're not going to pay my bills. You're not going to save me out of trouble anyways. So that's always kind of been my wire. You know, I just wanted to win. I just want to win. I'll do whatever it takes to win, you know? And
yeah, but why? That's why I asked specifically, like, take me back to a moment in your life.
You did mention the broken home as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, take me back to a moment enough. And I'm asking this because I've noticed with people, like, that I've interviewed that, like, either they go two routes. Either you got the individual who goes through turmoil and decides to just fold, or you got the individual who goes through turmoil and is like, no, I'm going to grow from this and I'm going to become a beast from this. Yeah. And there's a moment in time in your life where that happens. Do you remember that time or what it was and what that event was that created that intensity in you?
It's a very tough question.
Take your time.
Some part of me wants to be the nice guy right now and just be like,
no, screw you, baby.
If you're not comfortable answering, but I'm like, you know what? No, let's. I want to see the fire. I want to see the flip and the lion come out right now.
Part of my trigger was, you know, I was very close with, you know, my mom and dad when I was a kid, and I was always talented with different skills, like. I could detach and build anything with my bare damn hands since I was a kid. Like anything. You know, when I was a little kid, I used to put together bikes at 5 years old. And, you know, I thought I was Dexter, you know. And ever since I was a little kid, I always wanted to just play college football, live in my own bedroom, have a simple car, and just live my dream. You know, just like a regular kid. You know, and I took care of my family. And I remember, you know, I renovated an entire house in Grand Blanc, Michigan for my family when I was 13, turning 14, the summer of July. You know, summer of, I believe, 2004. And all I wanted was a bedroom. I wanted a simple life. I wanted to play football, go to college, and I thought I was going to have that normal life. But it broke. And when it broke, I felt like I was breaking. And I would accomplish these big accolades in my life as a kid. sports, life, my family. It was just never good enough. And things kept breaking and breaking and breaking. And my family would lose their home. And a lot of fucking shit kept happening, you know? And I'm a very protective person by nature. Like, very. And I was like dissecting why, understanding, you know, my parents, how they came here, what's going on, this, that, and understanding why the hell the world is the way it's set up. So I ended up, you know, really, really, really reading into how this freaking world works. And when it hit me, I think that was the point where I was like, fuck this. I ain't gonna be a product of this fucking piece of shit's world environment. Fuck you.
And this was at 14? 15?
This was through my teen years, you know, ascending upward in my life. And, you know, it's just, I've dealt with a lot of resistance and a lot of trial. And understanding, you know, that who I am as a man and having the way I have my current connection with God is just, it's very empowering. It's like if you were a young man and you were to close your eyes and say, who is the maximum peak version of who I am at 40 years old? And you were to draw yourself, what would you look like physically, mentally, emotionally, financially, spiritually? Who and what would you look like? What would you smell like? What would people say about you? How would people view you? So I was going through hell. I saw that. And I said, okay, let's get to work. I think every young man should do that. Understand and envision the maximum peak potential of a man who you can be, and you should strive to be that guy. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like it should be like a break moment or anything. It's just, I've been put under the pressure of survival, you know? I raised my 2 younger siblings at 19. Football got stripped away from me. I wasn't able to pursue it, you know? MMA was stripped away from me. Due to responsibilities. And it's, you know, yeah. And I remember when I was like, you know, 17, 18, 19, 20, when I was younger, I had to do private security in Detroit. I was a guard. I did this, I did that. So I seen everything. And that's why I've never drank a day in my entire fucking life.
Really?
I've never drank a drop of liquor in my fucking life. Because I knew all the stuff that was taken from me. It's like, I could have been this. So here's a little bit of liquor so you could become shit. And I knew that this is the trap. This is how the world is set up. You know, if you go on DoorDash, the world's not set up to make you healthy. It's all shit. It's all fucking sugar, slop, MSG, or whatever the hell they put in your fucking food. The world is not designed to bring out the max peak value unless you create your ecosystem of being a beast. You have to build it. God gave you hands, eyes, ears, and a nose, so use it, damn it. Create your foundation, create your people. If you know you suck at something, create a foundation or an ecosystem to make you better at something. Work. You're going to suffer anyways. You might as well get something out of it and be favored by God. Do what you need to do to win. And it's kind of a little bit of a breakdown, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was epic.
Yeah. You so you're 33. In your teen years, you went through this like revolutionary mental development. From that age till today, have you ever had a time where, you know how you talk a lot about like breaking down and a lot of things didn't go your way and all that stuff,
yeah.
Where you felt, you're not the type to seem like you'd give up, but where you felt really close to like, oh man, I don't know if I could do this anymore.
Never. Fuck no.
Huh. Was it so? I have a similar question,
and let me answer your question a little better, so I'm more realistic to the world and everybody understand what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you do feel like you're breaking down and you're falling. You're dying. Have I broken down a million times? A million fucking times. I burn out every fucking day. Every fucking day. It's about how do you develop yourself with being able to keep coming back. How do you strengthen that muscle? Right? Everybody thinks about, oh my God, it's over, I'm dying, this. Like everybody goes through the hell, right? Every fucking human in the world feels like, oh, their life is over. You understand? But you got to realize when you get to that point, sometime God will break you down to nothing to rebuild you into something amazing. And you have to make sure that you have a foundation of like, I'm Muslim, right? I'm a proud Muslim. And I practice. I'm not the most religious guy in the world. I could always be better, but I know my God. I know my faith. And I know that I keep God inside of me wherever the hell I go in the world. God is within. So knowing your foundation, and make sure that God is within you. That's your foundation, You have to have stability. No matter, you can take take it all away. I have God. I'll find it. I'll get back.
Took the words right out of my flipping question.
Can I ask you more of like a personal question?
Sure.
Just a little curious. Because you mentioned like, you're a man of faith. Why mortgage?
Because my family lost their house in 2008. That's why. I want to make sure no fucking family ever loses a damn house.
Does it ever conflict with your religious values or no?
No, I'm saving families. Why would it reflect with my religion?
Because, like, from a religious standpoint, interest is haram.
Well, I'm not the one reflecting the interest. I'm the one reducing your interest.
Huh. Interesting take.
I'm the one taking away the interest from you, helping you, putting you into better rates, paying off your debt, reducing your credit card debt, helping you purchase a home so you can actually provide for your family and live in a house. I'm the one fighting for the lower rate. So if anything, I'm like the vigilante to get you the lower rate.
Yeah, no, I'm
so
curious.
In a sense, it is a positive thing because what are you going to do? Not buy a house?
And have you ever like spoken to a scholar regarding this and broke down the details to them to get
about the Islam? No, I never have. I mean, if I talk to a scholar, there's going to be more important things that I talk to a scholar about. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to waste his time talking about interest. I'm going to talk to him about more important things on how do we better the world, because I'm not going to waste nobody's time. I mean, it is what it is. But like mortgage isn't the only thing that I'm tapped into. I'm tapped into a good friend of mine who's has become a brother. His name is Abe. And also, I don't know if you guys, I'm sure heard of him, Larry Wheels. He's also a good friend of mine as well.
Mm-hmm. I saw you got a couple pics on.
Yeah, he's a good one hell of a training partner, I'll tell you that.
I was watching one of his podcasts recently, actually, because like he's going through a pretty big shift himself too, from a career standpoint.
Yeah,
so.
Larry's a good dude. We helped Lone Vault helped Larry get his first home. We took care of him, and him and I have a lot of the same values. And another business we are establishing is something called the Bio Vault. It's going to be coming out in 2024, and what it is that we want to help people in the bodybuilding and athletic community, and we also want to help people in the financial district, right? Because if you think about it, people that work corporate, work 9 to 5, their testosterone dilutes, their bones mess up, their IT bands get tight, they sit at a desk all day, they get fat, their bodies fall apart, the relationships go to shit, like they're falling apart, right? Again, the world is not designed to make you a machine. And in bodybuilding community, there's a lot of young athletes that are just blasting freaking steroids, and they don't know what the fuck they're doing. And we've seen a lot of people go, and it's just sad. So this company it's very similar to, how a lot of other peptide companies work. But the way we're going to approach this is that we want to understand where your current blood work is. By understanding where your current blood work is and understanding what your goals are, you are going to be involved on a 12-month plan. After the 12-month plan, we reassess, we look at your improvements, and we understand what your new goals are, and jump to the next phase, right? And we want to make this available to the East and the West, because in the West Coast, people know about NAD, Dihexa,
I actually just took one right now.
What?
Dihexa.
Dihexa?
Yeah. That's when I took the pill. Yeah.
The pill? Yeah. We know a lot about these things, and it's just like when I go to the East, I was talking to a few of my boys at the gym and shit, and they don't know shit about peptides. Like, they don't know they have no idea what I'm talking about. And I was like, really?
I feel like, too, by the way, it's not even just not knowing. They're like, they don't even want to be open to it because they're like, it's taboo. It's like, oh, no, I don't do that stuff.
Yeah, that's the world needs to know that there's alternatives to help you, live a better life.
So are you on TRT?
I try. Yeah, I dabbled into TRT recently in my years.
Yeah.
You know, I just here in Newport Beach, we have a cosmetic clinic. I've never taken like D-Ball, Deca, Tren. I would not mess with those ever. I can't.
Yeah.
I've dabbled into TRT, and you know, it's fine. I feel like what it did for me, because I've been already naturally strong since I was a little kid, it just, I don't know, my levels of, I believe that probably like what 600-700 always naturally. I feel like it just replaced the 600-700 because it's done by a medical clinic. I won't take anything off the street. I'm very weird. I don't drink. I don't smoke. Like, I'll smoke a cigar, but I've never smoked weed or done whatever the hell these cats are doing.
We should have brought cigars, dude.
Cigars are my shit. Like, I do it like once in a while. It's not every day thing.
Yeah. It's got to be a special occasion almost.
Nice ambiance, you know. Some Arab do arguile, they like that, the hookah. But I smoke a cigar once in a blue moon. But as far as the TRT goes, you know, people should be educated, right? I studied the hell out of this. I'm 33, so I started using TRT recently in my years, past couple years. And it's fine. It's not like, oh my God, it's gonna make you a monster, but it's healthy, right? You don't want your T level to dilute really, really low, and you don't want your T level to be way through the roof. Either way, you're gonna have health problems, right? And like I was saying earlier, the world needs to understand, you know, what's going on, right? Like people's T is dropping rapidly because of the food. You can't fight it. Mm-hmm. Like if it was 1940, I probably wouldn't have tried it.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm just being real.
Yeah.
We're on a mission as men. We got to stay healthy. It is what it is. TRT is, you know, if it's controlled and regulated by a doctor, it's okay. But if you're doing shit on your own, that's not okay.
So what's your peptide stack? Do you take peptides?
I'm taking NAD. NAD is amazing. It like reverses like your aging cells, and it just does all kinds of crazy stuff for you. Also, I'm taking dihexa. Dihexa's cool. You know, I'll take a very light dose of dihexa, and I try TB and BPC for like shoulder, elbow, joint pain. It helps. And what else? Oh, there's called tesamorelin, imaporelin. So it's like a natural peptide.
For GH.
Yeah, right? It helps release the natural GH in your body, so people don't got to take actual HGH. You know, I've heard horror stories from it, so I'm not trying to play lab rat with my body.
Yeah, no, CJC is pretty good. It's crazy, actually. Like the way I found about peptides is I had a back injury when I was a kid, a terrible back injury, like spine injury, and so I went to like chiropractors, surgeons. I mean, you name it. I was in a back brace my whole entire like high school years. A back brace, so it's like this whole thing where it's like from here to here, I was just like in a cast.
You were in a back brace.
Yeah, it was terrible. So, and I basically accepted the fact that I'm just gonna have chronic pain for the rest of my life. And I started my career started in a marketing agency. One of my clients happened to run a clinic, and he goes, and in my onboarding session with him, I'm like, hey, what are you doing? Like, tell me about your products. And he goes, this, and he starts explaining to me peptides.
There you go.
And I'm like, yo, I have a question. Like, I have this back issue, and I've never figured it out. Like, do you think this can help? And he's like, dude, 100%. I'm just gonna send you products, try it out, and let me know. Yeah. And bro, I swear to God, in 3 months, back pain gone, like literally gone. And I'm talking about 15 years.
Since we're talking about this, I want to invite some friends of mine here. I know they're here with me, Aaron and Zaid. If you guys want to join, I'll let them talk to you about their experiences about bodybuilding and health and wellness and what they think. But I want to bring them on. I want the world to hear their voice too, because these are my buddies.
G, over there, sit over there. Make some content. No, I'm saying this because like. It was a game changer, you know, because I told you 15 years, man, just trying things and like nothing worked. Yeah. And like all of a sudden I get on this like therapy and for 3 months, it's gone. I wake up one day and I'm like, oh my God, I can move. Like what the heck? This is crazy. Like, you know, and
it's all natural, man. It's your body. Your body currently produces, you know, the whole matrix of the stuff. So it's good to just keep it natty. It's just science, man.
Yeah, for sure.
I want the world to meet Aaron Kramer, good buddy of mine.
What's up, guys?
Zaid Mahroum.
What's going on?
Young stud, young stallion.
Yes, sir. I do want to say, we talked about interest, right? We do have halal financing at our company.
You have halal financing.
Yes,
Explain
we do.
to me that. So, break it down for me.
Let me pull it up right here. So the lender purchases a product and sells it to the buyer with a profit. The buyer repays the lender in installments with no interest. And it's a popular choice for individuals.
Do you guys do that?
Yes, we do.
Private money.
Yes.
Ah, interesting.
Yes.
Okay.
Private money.
Yes.
So we have 4 forms of lending. We have standard, your QM loans, your non-QM loans, right? We do, obviously, jumbo's its own sector, and then business and commercial. But in the non-QM space, it falls under the, private money sector.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I'm just, the reason why I asked that question, dude, I don't mean to like put you down in any way. It's just like, I think about like the way I make my money a lot, like all the time. Because to me, like the last thing I want to do is like when I pass away and I get judged, God's like, hey, where'd you get all this cash from? Like, and where did it come from? And I have to sit there and answer for it, like dollars that I don't even, especially, by the way, especially if you're making a smack load of it, right? Because then you're just like you're like, oh, I don't really know, man. So I've always been, I love the space that you're in because it's like, especially for a guy like you or even like me, it's very stimulant. Like it stimulates the hell out of it. I'm in cybersecurity now. Slow ass business, dude. I get so bored. Like I'm sitting there, I'm like, God damn. My sales cycle is like 1.5 years sometimes to close a deal. So like it's tough. Yeah. So I that's why I kind of just threw it out. But that's pretty interesting because that type of lending is halal.
Yeah, it's halal lending. And then also like you can't really escape it in this country. You know, you got to get a car loan, got to get a house loan. Unless you're like fully loaded, you just buy everything cash, credit cards, stuff like that. You're going to deal with interest.
Let me ask you a question. If you have a credit card, right?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. You're probably paying what, 23% APR on it? Now,
I don't have credit card debt.
Well, if you let it ride over a 30-day overcycle, you will have a debt.
I never have. And I never will.
Knock on wood, but you never know. You may have a rainy day, right?
Yeah.
And then when you want to buy, what about when you want to buy a house?
You never know. But what if you did? Not everyone's perfect. What if you did? Everybody in the world will be in a seat. One day you're up, one day you're down. You know that?
Sure. Okay.
So what if I came to you and made, we lowered your interest from 23% to, 7%? Is that haram?
I'm not a scholar, man.
I'm just if I reduced your interest, is that forbidden? I'm the guy that came and helped you reduce that haram interest, let's just say. Am I a bad guy?
So once again,
is that your entire business model?
Pretty much. I mean,
this is why it's really important.
In the mortgage game, you're only 4 things you can do. You can lower payments, change the term of the loan. So
you're not initiating loans. You're not like, hey, I come to you, you give me a loan.
Well, think about it. When the people initiate a loan, what's the primary objective? Besides lowering payments, changing terms, pulling cash, or purchasing, the primary objective is to seek the lower rate. So, for example, someone's trying to buy a house and some jackass is charging them 10%, and I cut that in half. I think I did a good deed.
And it's hard to escape in this country too. Here in this country, everything's really built on debt. Like,
yeah, I mean, I don't so it's hard to.
You're not gonna buy a house?
No,
you're not buying a house.
No.
So this is why
I'm so against that.
This is why, by the way, it's really.
I'm gonna go hustle my ass off, make the money, and spend in cash if I need to.
Inshallah.
Yeah. I don't. And by the way, not to cut you off, but by the way, I actually, because of my philosophy, like 100%, God's gonna give me like unlimited money to go do what I got to do with it.
Inshallah.
And obviously God wills, but I'm very, very strict on that.
What about if you want to leverage your debt? Like, because let's say you want to buy an investment because people leverage debt.
I agree. Money. So actually I was just talking to my dad about this like literally earlier today because we're over here like we're producing X amount of dollars in the business and the tax bill's coming out. And I'm like, man, shit this. Like, I wish I can go buy real estate and like just.
Tax is a form of interest and you're going to be forced to pay it in this country.
That's true. But that's not my decision to make though. Like I have to do it. I don't have to get into debt.
It's all relative.
So this is why, remember Adam, a little bit earlier, you were saying that like this is kind of like different from the specifics of this conversation, but you were saying earlier about how before you go and try to preach something, you have to have enough knowledge of it. You know what I mean? Because you have to be an advisor to people. The fact that we don't have like a scholar with us here to kind of like answer these questions.
And I know there's different kinds of scholars.
There's always going to be differences of opinion.
Yeah, there's different opinions.
Well, I'll be honest with you guys. This is how I grew up. I didn't grow up Shia. I didn't grow up Sunni. I didn't grow up with none of that bullshit.
Right.
I grew up as a Muslim. You understand? Mm-hmm. I believe in God. And to be honest, Shia, Sunni.
If you say that, bro, riba's in the Quran, dude. It's like a very like it's like zina. It's like you don't commit zina, dude.
You're not understanding. Like, is Shia, Sunni anywhere mentioned in the Quran?
No.
Okay, that's. Strike one.
However, when you say the shahada, you do mention that ashhadu an la ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah, and you follow his sunnah.
Of course.
So that is something that.
What I'm saying is, Shia Sunnah, they and all whatever sects they call it, all that was, I believe, was created to create diversity within Islam. It's divide and conquer 101, dude.
I agree on that.
My thing is, it's like I know each one has their own scholar and each one has their own rules. For me, it's all about everyone's unique relationship between you and God, and that's it. And then do you follow the book? I don't care about what people say. I don't care about what this man-made shit that. I don't care about man-made shit. I care about what God's word is and the story.
Like, what's the book? The Quran?
I'm not a scholar.
Adam, what do you say when what do you say when you come into the office in the morning? What do you say? What do you yell when you Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad?
Every morning starts off the day with that.
Every morning.
I love it.
I'm so down.
Yeah, that's dope.
No, he comes into the office and he just yells it every morning.
I mean, okay, so here's the thing. It's so.
Sir.
Who is, because mashallah, alhamdulillah, you believe and we'll take that over anything, like you said earlier, right? Who is qualified to transmit the knowledge of Islam? The scholars.
I believe the Rasuls. The Rasul did that once.
So yes, to bring it to the peoples, yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
But from their time until here, who's the qualified ones to?
I don't think we'll ever know that.
Relay the message.
I don't think we'll ever know.
No, it's very simple. The Rasul ﷺ told us.
Oh.
You learn from the people who learned from the people. You know what I mean?
There's a system, bro. There's a system.
There's
like you said, a chain of command.
Like you said, a chain of command.
There's a chain of command in religion. You know what I mean?
Take notes. No, but
I better get a notepad too. Get a notepad.
I got a mental notepad, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Like, let me make sure. I mean,
so similar to how
but I'm all ears.
There's a chain of command in terms of the knowledge, right? From the Rasul, alayhi salatu wasalam, to his companions, to their offspring, to their offspring, to the offspring, to eventually people who we call scholars, all the way down to what we now are surrounded by, which is our Islamic scholars, local and afar, right? Personally, I just believe when it comes down to something, especially in regards to your livelihood, you know what I mean? The money that is used, that you're earning to feed your families, to feed your communities, it's really, really important to make sure that that money in Allah's eyes is accepted. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying it's not. By no means.
Yeah, Adam, I want you to know, bro, this is all love. Like, I told you, man,
so I have a loan estimate. No, but that's why it's like, if anything, it's always an idea where it's like, go talk to.
I've heard some scholars say it's cool, some scholars say it's not. Nobody really has a definitive answer because you got to realize we're in a different generation. Like the Quran
but
said.
Earlier,
also,
you told me you've never really had a conversation with a scholar regarding.
I've heard, not a direct conversation, but I've heard through people and through scholars. Like this, for example, I have a lot of Shia friends, you know, in the East. Like they have marjas and that they talk to. I don't have that direct connection with it. You know, I hear they talk. We all around the bonfire. Everybody says, "Oh, my Sayyid said this," and I hear a different story from everybody.
Right.
So you know.
So
my focus is on, you know, this is like one piece of you know what the Quran is you know or whatever people speak of, right? I know that there's a lot of other pieces that bring more value to a man's life that should be entertained before this. I feel like it comes in stages, right? Do you lie? Do you cheat? Do you steal? Right? Do you drink? Do you claim that you're a Muslim and you go out to the club on a Friday and you're popping bottles with your guys? Like, to me, I look at who you are as a person. I look at these attributes. I've seen a lot of shit.
You can't avoid it. Like I said, like even renting this apartment, you're paying interest.
You are paying a form of interest.
I'll explain.
Because you're paying them and they're paying interest.
Yeah. So hear me out. This is where
a form of interest.
I hear you.
It's actually, I don't know what surah, but it's in the Quran. It talks about how we kind of have to.
Should have brought a sheikh.
Yeah, we kind of have to like adapt to what's happening around us, and you cannot really avoid it in this country. It's just everywhere.
God knows your niyyah. If you're doing your best to be the best version of yourself, God knows, obviously, and everyone's relationship is unique. Now, if you're out there and you're the lender and you're trying to jack rates up to rob the world, that's a different story. That's malicious intent, right? If
you've had clients cry on the phone. I've been there where you help them so in an immense way. They actually cry, break down in tears.
When you alleviate people of the interest load, you know, like they fall. A lot of them.
Look, and to everyone their own opinion, and I respect what you do. And this is just love. I told you, man. This podcast can get
not
really
coming from a place where we're saying you're wrong.
Yeah.
It's coming from a place of like, yo, dude, cross your T's and dot your I's.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Of course, I'm all ears.
Yeah.
I'm all ears.
And also, I wanted to mention, I personally am very close to 2 scholars. One we actually had on the podcast before we had this kind of a discussion with.
Nice.
And the other one, he had his entire Islamic studies focused on Islamic finance.
Wow.
So these are this internationally studied. These guys are world renowned. You know what I mean?
Who are they? What are their names?
What are their names? One of them is actually, where you guys stay?
Sheikh Tariq Ata is one. He's a Mission Viejo Mosque.
No, not Sheikh Tariq Ata.
But he's Islamic finance too.
Is he actually?
Yeah.
No, one of them is Sheikh Mustafa Umar right here from Irvine Islamic Center. And then one of them, he's actually in Texas. His name's Sheikh Joe Bradford.
Okay. Shout out Mr. Joe, bro.
Shout out Joe, bro. No, the guy is a wizard, yani.
Let's talk about all the girls and all the money they make with OnlyFans.
Wait, what? That's
all right,
a change of subject.
I'm gonna connect you to the Sheikh. All right, so OnlyFans.
Well, that's obviously all haram too.
Bro,
that's haram too. 100%. Are you Muslim, bro?
No. He might as well be.
Not yet, bro.
Not yet.
All right, repeat after me, bro. Ashhadu.
He walks in. Ashhadu anna.
No, I want to dig on your point. So a couple things, right? So leasing cars, there's interest. Getting an apartment, there's interest. 100%. However, it becomes so. This is where the scholars come into play, and they go, "Hey, this is where it's okay. It's okay because it's in the contract, and it's not something that they're not making money on money."
That's what I was gonna say.
Here's one thing
Everything's in the
too.
contract.
A scholar is
everything that we do is in contract.
These scholars are
That's
not.
what I was gonna say.
How do I say this? These scholars don't understand finance to the level I do. They don't understand finance to the level he does when it comes to the lending game. They sure as hell don't understand finance to the level of Matt Ishbia would, the guy that owns UWM.
And the Phoenix Suns.
The reason why I say it's relative to a certain extent to make it this just that big of a topic, my thing is there's a lot of other topics we need to tackle in this life, in this world,
and on this
before
podcast.
we get to this one.
So I guess,
and on this podcast. No, I was actually being
yeah.
So
even
one
on this
other thing,
podcast,
another source of revenue, I want to talk about something that's not haram, but something that's okay because you're helping and bettering the
OnlyFans?
world.
No.
Yeah, that's definitely haram.
No, I get why you mentioned it.
I've seen statements from OnlyFans. You know, we do files for a lot of all kinds of people in the country. I mean, I've seen deposits of like literally north of $1 million a month.
Holy!
I'm just literally, and I'm just like, and I mean that's whatever money, but like to me, it's like okay, you sold yourself to do this. People don't understand the value that they hold as a person. The problem is they just didn't know. Because if a woman really knew her value, she wouldn't sell herself for $1 billion.
That's
nothing. There's no money that can buy a woman's value. And it's just, for me, it's kind of sad. Look what you did just for $1 million. And I mean this respectfully. $1 million is shit changed. Like it's nothing. $1 million ain't shit, especially this day and age.
100%. I agree with you.
But another point is I want to let Aaron talk about peptides and health and wellness because he's an athlete, and Aaron, let the world know what we're doing with the BioVault.
Yeah. We've done a lot of research about how the body works, what makes it work. We definitely took a look into peptides and realized there's a lot of benefit there that we can offer the world. So we're partnering up with one of my very close friends, Abraham, who I introduced to Adam, and we've all become very close with Larry Wheels and a bunch of other athletes. So we're looking into creating something that's going to benefit everybody. We're going to take over the industry. We have a multi-million-dollar facility. Everything's up to code. We have a chief scientist. We have a lead chemist. We have everyone in place to make sure that everyone's getting top quality peptides, only made in America, nothing overseas.
Yep.
So we're offering this to the world as something that's probably 100 times cleaner, better, safer, and cheaper than every other option that people have right now. A lot of people.
How much you pay for your dihexa?
Dude, my therapy is expensive. You know the Newport Beach clinic? I think the same clinic, dude.
You went to Asandra?
Yeah.
Nice.
Right when you said Newport Beach, I figured I was like, it has to be the
so
same guy.
my therapy is like about $850 a month.
So that
includes, I'll say it. I'm on TRT, so it's like that includes TRT, dihexa, epimorlin, here and there Anavar every 90 days. I'll cycle it if I want to. You know.
Hold on. Why are you taking Anavar?
I've done it 3 times.
But hold on. Why are you taking Anavar? Are you competing?
No, I just enjoy the edge it gives me.
Bro, it's haram.
I asked.
Okay, so nobody's perfect.
I asked.
Nobody's perfect.
No, I actually asked.
My little brother, man.
Yeah. No, I love it. I'm all about the jokes, man. All good. I did ask though before I get on a different.
Golden.
You know,
If you're not using it for a sport, if there's no direction for it, it's actually harmful for your body, and therefore, in return, harming your body is.
I haven't done it in a while. I'll tell you that. It's been like about a year now, I think, since I last did my cycle. But
you still took it.
But I still took it. Yeah, you know, it is what it is.
But it's a long-term effect thing versus short-term effect.
HRT, the hormone replacement therapy, I understand, because that's like what your body's made of. It's how your chemicals work. It's how the whole matrix of your system functions. But additional steroids like Dihexa and stuff like. That's the
Dihexa
thing.
is a steroid?
No, it's
I'm
not.
talking about Anavar. Dihexa is peptide. But when I think about like. The reason why we're doing this is because there's ways to help your body, like in a natural form through a peptide, where you don't have to take Anavar.
Yeah, I'm with you. And by the way, I've never done anything else. Like I would never touch the other stuff. Like that stuff to me is scary.
What is it called? D-ball, Tren, Deca,
all those other things.
Other anabolic
steroids. I'm chilling on those.
That is.
I gotta ship it
so
on the way.
Here's what happened. So I actually like my whole story was like when I was like I think 18, 19, like a freaking idiot. I wasn't uneducated. I was introduced to SARMs, right?
Oh no.
Yeah. And
How old are you right now?
26.
They had SARMs.
Yeah.
It's been around for a long time. Yeah.
SARMs but anyway, so and at the time, because again uneducated, right? I was told that this is not bad for you. So like a freaking idiot, I got on Ostarine and no, it was just Ostarine, which is a mild one, right, compared to the rest. But that's when I started to get introduced to this world of like anabolics and stuff like that. Never did it again. I did one cycle and I was like,
what happened when you got off?
Nothing. I mean, I was chilling. Yeah.
This is another reason why we're opening BioVault is because we know that people don't need to take this stuff. You know how many times kids come up to me in the gym, they're like, what gear should I take? What steroid should I take? God. And you know what my answer is?
So easily accessible.
None. What's wrong with you?
Yeah,
people don't do the work, bro. Like people think if they're gonna hop on to what is that fat loss shit that people taking? Manjaro,
Ozempic or something.
Manjaro,
yeah,
Manjaro,
semaglutide.
Semaglutide. Yeah.
Dude, do the fucking work. Like go to the goddamn gym at least 3 weeks straight. Just go to the gym. Go lift. The world is used to such instant gratification. They think a pill or... Dude, I've been natty since I was born. Like, since I was 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. I was stronger than all the dudes on steroids. All of them. Now I'm doing TRT or whatever recently. So I don't know. I guess it's not natty, I guess. But I guess it's not anymore.
So I will say, like,
I
because...
was the strongest because I worked.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. And I've been working out since I was like 14 because of my back injury. So I started working out really early and it was like very consistent. Like I was 6 days a week nonstop for like years. Right. And then so when I got into this whole SARMs thing, I swear to you, man, I asked around and they're like, oh, it's good. Like, whatever. Stupid. Right. And so in my head, I was like, oh, I like this biohacking idea and I want to see if I can enhance my performance. So I got on it and I did it once, never again. I was like, this is just, it didn't feel right. Like I didn't feel right. Like I was like, if something doesn't feel right in my body, I'm going to listen to my body.
Like, I mean,
you know?
I know kids are going to take shit. They're going to take shit whether you tell them or not. You tell a kid, don't do it, he's going to do it. Don't push the red button, they're going to push the red button. So you might as well make it available in a safe format, kind of like the heroin addicts, right? They're going to take heroin. You might as well pass out clean needles. They're going to take it. Or they're going to rob the building.
I love that philosophy.
These are
it's
fucking
spitting facts, though. It's spitting facts,
You know
though,
I'm telling
for
you
real.
fucking facts. Because
Straight
a
up.
heroin addict is hooked on heroin. He's going to do whatever the fuck it takes to take heroin.
It's human nature.
Huh?
It's human nature to be denied something and then want it anyways.
So you need to provide it in a safe format when it comes to peptides and understanding how the body works. There should be at least a course. People see in school, they don't teach you about finance. They don't teach you about mortgage. They don't teach you about investing. They don't teach you about how the body works. Correct. Yeah, they'll teach you about how cells are built. Great. But teach me how the fuck the body works and why I should take and why I shouldn't take.
Mitochondria, powerhouse of the
They
cell.
don't teach you relationship. People in school, in high school, they don't teach you on how a man should be and how a woman should be. Now the fucking schools are telling your kids to change their goddamn sex.
That's
are you
insane.
fucking kidding me?
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's haram, right?
Yeah. For big time. Hey, shout out my
Good job,
guy. Jumping on the bandwagon. Let's go. So what you guys stack? What's your?
I run 4X. It's a blend of a Pamarelin, CJC, GHRP2, and GHRP6. They're all very low doses, but they all play a synergistic effect in the body. But as you know, peptides only release the
it's your natural
limit. Your natural limit. So you're not super physiological.
Sure.
You're still operating at the highest genetic limit that you can already naturally emit, right? Yeah. So you're not taking anything supernatural.
Yeah. No, I love peptides. I think peptides are awesome.
So actually, funny enough, I wanna kind of like, peptides for dummies, right? For the people who they've been hearing this word go around on social media for quite some time now. What on earth? Give me the bare basics. What are peptides as a supplement, as an intake?
Aaron?
What are they? Get deep into it.
So to just make it very simple, peptides, they're not drugs, they're not hormones. It is just a signal to your body to do what it already does, but better. That's it.
Love that.
That's pretty simple.
So a lot of what you guys do at BioVault, I'm assuming, is also like educational.
Absolutely. The whole point is to offer a product that's going to be beneficial, especially for the youth, but in a safe way, but also with our ideology about the world and about men and women and life and how you should live your life as a man or a woman. All that comes together, right? It all works together synergistically so you can be the best version of yourself, so we can bring back the real vitality of life. That's what we want to do.
We speak to the youth's inner DNA.
Yeah.
Whether a guy hates you, or is jealous of you, doesn't like you, this, that. When you speak to a man's inner DNA, they're naturally going to love you.
Right.
Period.
There's a connection there.
There's truth.
Automatically.
Everyone resonates with truth.
Automatically. Be so competitive. Be so driven and hardworking where you don't experience the typical bitch emotions of jealousy and insecurity. Fuck that. Work harder. Be so busy with working hard, you don't experience those feelings, because that's a big deal. And if your hormones are in check and you understand what you're doing and you're working hard, you're on a good pace, you're not going to have time for these pathetic emotions. You're going to win.
So you did mention something about cost. And then you asked me about dihexa.
Yeah.
How much is like dihexa with like you guys and stuff? What are you
dude, it's
50 a vial.
50? No way.
Yeah.
And that's
but it depends on where you get it from, right? Like, some labs will use shit products to develop them and make them.
Yeah.
And then they'll sell it to you for an arm and a leg. And some labs will use the real products, which is probably a little bit more expensive to create them, and they sell it to you for cheaper. Like, it's all dependent on where you go. But this multi-million-dollar facility, where access to it's just another level. Like, every time we talk to somebody who's like, oh, I do peptides or this, I get it from this place. At the end of the day, our lab is 9 out of 10 times it's always a distributor. Literally.
Yeah, most of where you get your stuff from is from our chemist. He's the one that produces it.
Yeah, I got introduced through actually Joe. He was like, you should go check him out, because I was going through a clinic in Texas and I hated their stuff. Like, you know why I hated him? Because he, hopefully he doesn't watch this, but shout out to you, my guy. But he basically it felt like a order taker, vending machine, and to me that's like very sketchy. Like, I would text him and be like, hey, I want to do this. He goes, okay, sounds good. I'm like, I don't know. It's kind of like
that easy.
It's kind of like going to a psychiatrist. I remember going to a psychiatrist when I was younger, and she goes, so you do have ADD. And I'm like, okay. She goes, and then she goes, what would you like?
Here's some Tic Tacs.
No. I wish she said that, bro. I wish she said that. She was like, what do you want? And I was like, what the hell do you mean? What do I want?
What do I need?
Yeah. And she goes, well, we have Adderall. We have Vyvanse, and she just starts listing all these medications, and I'm like, I could just choose whatever the heck I want. Like, what are you talking? And she'd be like, yeah. And honestly, it was so stupid because, again,
How old were you?
I was 21. Yeah.
At least he was 21.
Yeah, I was 21 at the time. But I was shocked, and that threw me off. I was like, I'm not using this. This is weird. The fact that you're just handing out substances like that, like. Like, what, are you a drug dealer? Like,
pretty much.
Oh, the way America works now with pharmacology is quite drastic. I mean, I got injured the end of 2022, had a herniated disc. I went to the hospital, and they let me leave with like 200 oxys. I'm like, should I have this much?
Yeah.
Should you be giving this much? Do I need this much? Why do I have this much?
How many of these can I sell?
No. I ended up taking maybe a couple, and I was like, I hated the way I felt. I was like, I'll just deal with the pain. And I flushed it down the toilet.
What a guy, dude. What a guy.
Damn.
Shout out Aaron, bro.
What athlete, like what sport?
I played a little bit of everything growing up. I did football my freshman year of high school. I was a really small kid, so I got crushed a lot. I played soccer for a bit, roller hockey. I was born in Miami, Florida, so obviously not much ice. And then I did a couple other things. I did fencing for a little bit. I just kind of dabbled in a lot of different things.
Bougie sports.
But I was always in and out of the gym, the weight room. So that was like a constant my whole life growing up. So that just became my therapy. That's just where I'm.
Bro, I saw a
my
video
natural
of his.
habitat.
Remember the story I replied to your story, Adam? He was benching 3 plates, and he's like, pop, 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 like it's nothing. I'm like, God damn, boy, for sure.
Have you seen Adam bench 405 for like 20 reps?
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. How much do you weigh, bro? What's your weight right now?
I am, as of right now, I'm around 300.
Yeah, you're strong build.
Yeah, I'm at 300. I think I'm probably, I measured my body fat. I'm like 17%, 17 or 18. I'm in the teens in body fat, but 300 pounds, it is a lot of weight to move around with, but I've always been like 295 to 302. Like I'm just floating around that weight always, depending on what I eat. Literally, I can eat a meal and gain 20 pounds like this.
Mm-hmm. I think it's the Arab genes, dude. Like,
yeah,
Palestine jeans. Free Palestine.
Free Palestine, baby.
Right.
It's the Palestinian and Italian olive oil that's just running through his veins.
Yeah, drinking Italian olive oil all day. Yeah,
we sell in our company we sell Palestinian olive oil.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you guys want some real deal stuff,
I wonder what it would be like to compare like the Italian olive oil.
I got some right here, bro. You want to try?
Oil.
Actually, he does.
I got some. No joke. You want to try?
No.
Hey, let's all do a shot of olive oil right now.
Shot of olive oil, dude.
No, hey, low-key, I'm not even playing. I take shots of olive oil 2 to 3 times a day.
Bro, have you ever heard the saying in Arabic?
I know it's good.
Have you ever heard the saying in Arabic? اللي بيشرب زيت بيعارك الحيط. You know what that means?
Yeah.
So basically, like if you drink olive oil, you're able to fight the wall. Like it's like a thing. Yeah. Well, because like it's supposed to like a brick wall. It's like very thick.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Wow, that's awesome.
My dad always used to say when I was young, bro, shut zayt, bro.
Yeah.
Drink zayt, bro.
Round of shots. Let's go.
Yeah.
So
We'll do it after. Yeah,
I'm
I'm
so
down.
down. Hell yeah.
My dad can make this knafa. Okay.
Oh.
He's
man.
from
You said
now.
you're Nabulsi, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. That's
My
they're
dad
known. They're known.
My dad makes this knafa. I mean, when this guy makes it, like, we have like easy 100 people just try to get lined up, try to get a piece.
Nice.
But he does it once in a while. You know, once in a while. It's just I was always a heavy eater when I was a kid. I don't know. I love food, man.
Yeah. It's delicious, man.
I love food.
Food is phenomenal.
2 major food groups: fat and sugar.
Hell yeah.
It's hard, but like you said though, these like in the United States,
It's beautiful.
food is so crap.
Yeah, I mean, food in the East Coast and food here. Like the moment I was just in Detroit for a meeting and a conference. I do a podcast with United Wholesale Mortgage, and the only thing I think about getting off the plane is just going straight to a fucking Coney Island. I wanted a grilled chicken pita with cheese and ranch. It's just different. Here,
It is, huh?
9 o'clock hits,
Everything's different.
they're gone. I'm like, I'm trying to eat. McDonald's or Wendy's, get the fuck out of here.
Whole East Coast versus West
And
Coast things
I
very different.
Yeah, I got off the plane. I think I stopped at a Coney Island 5 times while I was there, just to eat.
Hilarious. No,
Best food.
The street food game on the East Coast is
Unbeatable.
Funny
Undefeated.
enough. Like you'd think in LA it would be good because we have better weather and they can survive in the nighttime.
That's the problem.
But no, the East Coast is just flipping. Y'all are killing it out there, dude. Flipping. Well, I was in Baltimore one time, downtown. We were there for a convention, and dude, they had these just little huts selling gyro plates and stuff. Bro, it's to die for,
Yeah,
and
I
it's
love
only like $8.
Yeah.
It's to die for, dude.
Yeah.
Phenomenal
Yeah,
food.
you're making me
The
hungry right
weather
now,
is the
bro.
problem, actually. The weather is the problem. If you notice, all the nice weather spots have the easiest going people.
Yeah.
And all the colder states have a more tougher type of people.
Yeah.
And there's a reason for that. When you're cold, you're in survival mode, right?
Yeah.
So if you're selling street food, guess what? That food better be good and it better be cheap because you need to survive, right? You got warm weather, people are just relaxed. Oh, it doesn't matter if you buy it or not. It's okay. Don't worry about it. It's crap. Doesn't taste that good. Whatever. I'm chilling.
Environment is everything.
Environment is.
It is absolutely.
Or
Speaking
at least
of
half of it.
Yeah, speaking of environment,
Nature
I
versus
want to bring
nurture.
it back.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
You did discuss, like, earlier in the podcast about how, like, you got to create your own reality. So for people that are watching, if it doesn't come natural to them to be this, like, intense beast and show up every day and go crazy with everything they do, like, how do they establish that?
Well, I think naturally they want that. Most men are like that or want to be like that.
If you tell a young man, say, hey, you want to be strong, and he says no, there's something wrong with the kid.
They're taught differently. They're raised differently.
This is some kids that might say that these days.
No. I'm serious. If you tell a young kid, do you want to be strong? A young boy, he says no, you need to dissect that as a parent and fix it immediately.
And remove your belt. Whip the crap out.
Well, that was my daddy days. Nah, see, my dad was rough as fuck with me, and I respected it. I remember a day, my little brother, we needed a little beating. I'm like, 25 years old?
So
something like that.
You graduated from the beating phase of your life.
Oh no, I don't think I have, man. My dad
No way.
My dad is old school. No, right now, I take care of my father, of course. But this is when I was like 25 years old. I think I outgrew my parents when I was like 12. But I was raised in a household of full respect. Like, I see kids say "shut up" to their mom. I'm like, oh hell no. Like, and my mom, my mom and dad, they were rough as hell on me. And all these parents are just so nice to their kids. And I'm like, you're literally creating a demon by being nice to your kid that way. Yeah. I remember, my little brother's mouthing off to me. This is in front of my ex-girlfriend at the time. In the middle of the street, my dad comes up, just punches me right across the face. Woo. Like, full, and my dad's got a big fist. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's old school military. Like, he's not.
Your dad's the Palestinian one?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got big hands though, huh?
And so I retracted. I put my hands behind my back, and I just said, okay, like, that was it. What do you want? What are we gonna do? Square up with your pops? The community will literally bury you. And it's a sign of respect. At the time my girl was there, she saw it, she kind of giggled and laughed, and my little brother's laughing his ass off behind the car, and I'm like, you give him one of these, and Arabic man's like, kick your ass later, but it's just a respect factor. My dad wasn't happy about it, is what it is, but like, it's a respect. Like, he says stop, you stop, and that goes back to what? The chain of command. I've seen a lot of weird ass dudes say, yeah, beat up my dad. I'm like, you fucking moron.
Yeah, but is that his fault or is that the parents' fault, man?
What do you mean?
Like, the parents these days, there's a lot of weird parents these days, dude. Like, I see people in the way they treat their children.
A lot of unqualified parents.
Yeah, like, they treat their children like as if, I have to listen to him. I have to respect his wishes.
What am I going to do with him?
Like the child will be like, Mom, shut up. I don't feel good about that.
I can't do that.
And they're like, oh, okay, sorry, son. Like, let me just go take care of things for you.
It goes back to what Adam said about the chain of commands and the gender rules. That's the whole reason why the family's like that and the kids act that way. It's because the man doesn't do his job and the woman doesn't do her job, and there's just no respect between anybody.
Yeah.
So then,
also, I think too, like, we live in this. What was the word that we were on the reaction video we had?
Degenerate?
No, no, it's more
that
so like
too.
that too. But it's considered more the liberal mindset, like the mindset of like I can do whatever I want whenever I want, just because I feel like it.
Yeah, let them do whatever you want whenever you want, and then when shit happens, you come look for us to come save your ass.
No, I mean, dude, honestly, that's facts.
Yeah.
That's facts. Because eventually, when
they'll hate on you until they need you.
When things fall so out of control, right? Everyone's gonna eventually divert back to the people who have the structure of moving forward. You know what I mean? But if we're gonna bounce back to a couple of things, I had a question. You said you like to surround yourself with certain types of people.
Yeah.
And the first thing you said is, are they mentally taxing? I wanted to ask, is that mentally taxing as in like challenging to your...
No.
Or
mentally
just taxing in the sense
of
like...
For example, your brain...
draining.
Your brain is like a empty glass, for example, right? If I'm around a moron talking about dumb shit all day, he just took up maybe 1%. Whether I like it or not, I still heard it.
Right.
It's adding to my glass. I have such thin margin for bullshit in my life.
Right.
If you waste my fucking time, I will vanish from your world in seconds. You can't even find me. Because I can't allow myself as a man to hear shit which will affect the next day. Let me explain something to you about my life. My life is so broken down to the science where when I sleep, when I wake, when I eat, when I talk, when I speak, when I function, when I'm at work, it's all broken down to the science.
It's calculated.
I don't have time for error. I don't have time to be the guy and say, oh, mistakes happen. Fuck you. Fuck you. I'm not going to be the guy to live in life where I'm a product of the world's bullshit environment. And when you learn that speed, right, is a beast, you learn that time has an enemy. And time's enemy is speed. You ever hear that before?
No, first time.
Time has an enemy,
and it's
the enemy of time is speed.
Because you can technically work faster per se than time. Is that what you're?
Think about it. If you can do X within 4 hours, imagine you're able to do X in 4 hours.
Right.
We all fight time. Everyone's always fighting time. Trying to get home, trying to see the family, the wife, the kids, trying to do this.
Always
Speed.
against the clock.
But to be in control of your clock makes you a beast. That's a real beast.
Yeah.
You control your clock. Don't let the clock control you. How many guys I talk to like, oh, I'm so busy. Oh, I work a lot of hours. Oh, I'm tired. This, that. And I'm like, bro, you're fucking soft. Shut the fuck up and figure it out.
Right.
Own your goddamn clock. I'm in school. Fuck you. Figure it out. The world doesn't give a fuck because that's the cold-hearted reality because somebody else figured it out.
Right.
Someone else out there figured it the fuck out and did 10x your bitch ass.
So what I think is crazy is this is something I heard recently that like put it into perspective. They're like Elon Musk has the same 24 hours you do.
Thank you.
The same 24 hours.
Thank you.
And so actually funny enough, what I really am like just enjoying so much about this entire conversation today is a lot of, because what I usually like to bring to podcasts, right? Like whenever we go to film, I like to bring my self-reflections of that past week. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so there was something that came to my mind the other day. You ever like not necessarily open up about your day to like let off emotion, but like you just someone asks you like, yo, how was your day? You're like, you know what? It's not as productive as I wanted it to be. And they're like, oh, you need one of those days every once in a while. You ever heard that crap?
Yes.
Like you need a break every once in a while.
It goes back to who do you surround yourself with, right?
Right.
So I know how people are going to react to me and react to certain things. Like I've had crazy days and I've had conversations with Matt Ishbia. The guy is this guy's a machine. He's a billionaire machine human.
Yeah.
And I listen to him. He's been through what I've been through. He's conquered what I haven't conquered yet. And I listen to him. Yeah. But if you got to be able to recognize your audience, right? If somebody's like, hey, how's your day? Just, you got to just put on a smile and just, move on. You can't open up to everybody because they don't deserve it. And it's not that they don't deserve it, they're not good enough or whatever. They're just not there. And it's your duty as a man to understand and recognize. You need to scan and surveillance the area, know who the hell you're going to talk to, who's not. Because if you're in a bad emotional state and you talk to the wrong person, he will fuck you up. That's how a lot of people end up on crack.
Yeah.
And that's the goddamn truth.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you one thing. I told you I've never drank a day in my fucking life.
Good man.
I've been homeless once upon a time. Someone offered me weed and liquor. We know what happened to my insides? I exploded on that person. It wasn't their fault. I exploded on that person because my brain flashed my future as shit. I said, I didn't work this hard. God didn't bring me to this world to be a product of this environment. And I was so subconsciously aware of what was going on at the time, even as a young kid, that if I took a drop at that time, I would have been a product of the world's society like a bitch. And I felt bad for the guy because I lost my shit on him.
Nice.
I literally snapped.
So, but what I was trying to get at is, because most people will tell you, like, I struggle opening up even the smallest ways to anybody, right? Yeah. But basically the self-reflection that I had, within this past week was this idea where it's like, sometimes when you're alone and it seems like everything's just going to crap, one after the other. You're like, I'm putting in effort, goes to crap. I'm putting in effort, goes to crap, right? And you sit there for a moment and your mind kind of like wanders off. And you go, but I have thoughts, but I have feelings, but I have emotions. And then in my head, I was just like, no, you have tasks. You have tasks. You have tasks, right? And the idea is that when you're even if it's the simplest of tasks, if it's part of your structure that you've developed, completing a task is forward progress, whereas thoughts, feelings, and emotions are complete stops.
I got a formula for you.
Talk to me.
It's called win now, cry later.
Win now, cry later.
Say less, bro.
Say less. All right, guys. Thank you so much. All
right.
I was like, whoa.
Zay,
I gotta go, dude.
What do I tell you all the time?
That's what you tell me all the time.
What I tell you?
Win now, cry later.
Anytime I'm going through, you gotta understand. You gotta learn how to turn it off. Emotion. Look, we all have
Yeah,
emotions,
yeah.
bro. Like if you didn't cry when you saw Mufasa die in Lion King, something's wrong with you, bro. Okay. Like we all have feelings. Everybody has their emotions. Huh?
Yeah, it's not part of stoicism is not saying that we lack emotion. It's that we are aware of our emotions and we feel it, but we choose not to let it take control of our lives.
Exactly.
You're not absent of emotion. We feel everything.
You control it.
But as men, we're goal oriented, and the best way to make progress is to get to the next goal.
Complete your tasks.
I'll tell you this. The reason why I tell people win now, cry later. I've had a lot of people come to me, problems, this, that. I had a kid came up, I will not say names, in debt, broke, new hire. I was like, listen, like he's in a fucked up state. Okay, really fucked up state. Financially, his family's a burden. Like, he's fucked. And he's physically not the best physical guy to handle stress. You know what I told him? I could have coddled him and complimented his negative energy and let him feel good about being weak. That's the devil.
Right.
That's the devil. I'll say to the world, when you compliment negative energy and let somebody feel that it's okay when they have to win, you know, that it's not going to kill them, that's the devil. You never compliment negative energy. And I told him, I had to talk with him. I was like, I want you to win. I want you to win now, cry later. Son of a bitch made $74,000 that month. Paid off his bills and everything. And he felt good. Came in, walking in, yo, Adam, I did it, bro, blah, 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 talking his shit. You know what I'm talking about.
And he didn't cry.
And then we sat down, and I said, I put my feet up on my desk. It was a little mafioso moment. I'm like, hey, didn't I tell you win now, we'll cry later? I'm like, come on, I'll cry with you. Let's cry.
I love that.
He laughed.
I love it.
He laughed at me. He gave me a hug. I told him, get the fuck out of here. Go have a day off.
No, and it's crazy too because after winning,
I love it, dude.
after winning, the feeling of crying is gone.
But I'll cry with you. Sure, no problem.
Right,
but win now
right.
first. Win.
Yeah.
Then cry.
I like that. No, but you're 100% right. The moment you compliment negative energy, you're
feeding the devil.
You're justifying it for them, and now you're enabling them to continue with that.
I've had shitty days. Aaron's an asshole. Fuck. But it's all good.
Yeah, guys, Aaron's the biggest asshole.
I couldn't go to the gym.
He looks like the nicest guy ever.
Oh,
dude.
man.
Aaron's
He looks like a nice guy.
Oh, God. I don't know.
I am.
Yeah. You know, that's why I keep my environment strong. Like the other day, Aaron, remember that day I worked like fucking 15 hours?
It's every day.
Well, yeah, but there was a day that was very, very rough. I literally looked like I just came out of a battlefield at the end of the night. We're standing outside of my car. We always like take our pre-workout, and I pop my trunk. My trunk is like a GNC. Take my pre-workout, and we just get ready to go to the gym. And I was like, fuck, I wasn't going to go to the gym. This guy fucking lost his shit. We're going right now. And I was like, all right, let's go. Went to the gym, had the best one. Yeah, got off the plane the other day. Zay picked me up. I'm like, Zay, come pick me up. I don't feel like getting no fucking random Uber. I don't feel like driving. I don't want to smell nobody's car. I'm a germaphobe, by the way. I was like, dude, just come get me. And then I told him, yeah, we'll work out. But like, I got off the plane. I'm dehydrated. I'm fucked up. I woke up 4 a.m. Eastern time. I haven't slept. Fuck, jet lag, just completely fucked. And I wasn't going to go to the gym because I was going to go home and shower. Because you get off the plane, you're all pasty. And I'm like, fuck, I got to do my routine. I went to the gym. We had the best fucking workout. And we got jacked.
Yeah, we did, bro.
So environment.
Yeah.
How old are you?
23.
23. You're young.
The prodigy.
I'm 33.
33. Oh, same age. For sure.
Nice.
For sure. I feel like I've seen you before somewhere, bro.
I've seen you too.
Swear to God, man. Like when you walked in, I'm like,
Yeah.
this
Where
dude,
you
man, what the hell?
guys? Where you guys stay? You guys are close to here.
I'm an OC.
You're an OC.
I live here, and I also live in.
Oh, okay.
I live in Fort Lauderdale.
Maybe
Okay.
the gym, bro.
Probably.
So
I don't know.
LA Fitness.
I used to go there.
Signature Club?
Yeah.
Nice.
I used to go there.
That's probably where I've seen you.
Oh, okay. Probably. Yeah. I'm like, that's pretty cool, dude.
Yeah.
So I have so many, this conversation. See what I told you, man? Sometimes conversation goes 45 minutes.
Yeah,
Goes,
dude, I'm telling you, I'm so glad I took some notes. Do you have a question prepared?
you can go if you want.
Okay, cool. Question.
He has to preface it with a question.
Question
Question number 54.
Question. All right. So I have written here, why is everything going to crap? Question mark. Right? So this is when you were explaining that you saw the vision of your potential. You saw the vision of your potential. And then I wrote down a question, and then you literally, I'm telling you, the question is, was it God's way of prepping you? And then you started talking about this was God's way of showing me. I'm like, all right, dude. But to some degree, when a person is going through that moment where, like we said, they put in effort, goes to crap. They put in effort, goes to. It literally just seems like it's only getting worse.
You need Melanie, yeah.
So, do you think that this is God's way of saying, hey, I need you to become elite, the most elite version of yourself mentally first. So this is what you're going to go through.
Yes.
And this is something similar that you went through.
Yes. You need mental fortitude where you have mental endurance. If you don't have, listen, if I didn't go through my go-through, I don't think I would be able to. You got to understand, when I tell you that I have 13 hours a day of talk time, Monday through fucking Friday, talk time, nonstop. I have days I struggle to chew food, but it's a mental endurance to go those hours. If I didn't go through what God had put me through, I don't think I'd be that guy be able to handle those hours.
That's
like
right.
Literally, like there's a couple of days where, it's my duty to control my time, but like you're in the matrix of something and you're talking, working. You miss like 2, 3, 4, 5 meals, and I'm also an athlete. Like this guy has to fucking put chicken on my desk, and it like gets cold because I'm staring at it all day because I can't chew it.
Yeah, especially
endurance.
Chicken. Yeah,
it's weird. I don't know if this happens to you, but like when I get into this like insane mental focus, I get nauseous actually. Like if I eat. Yeah.
Not nauseous. I just when I don't know if you're a stress eater, but when I stress, I don't eat.
Oh yeah.
I starve.
You're like
I think that's what it is.
I can legit like if I'm focused.
It's a defense mechanism. I have to learn about because I'm the same way. Your body, when under stress, it shuts down intake. It's a defense mechanism. It shuts down the intake of food. So your nervous system just calms down. When you're fasting in Ramadan, why are you so calm? Because you're depleted.
Right.
So by not eating a defense mechanism, it depletes you of all emotion. So the defense mechanism doesn't allow you to be as stressed.
Yeah.
Believe it or not.
Yeah,
it's actually a defense mechanism.
So
I'd rather be that way than
Oh, 100%. 100%. Yeah.
Because I stress, I'd probably be a
Like all systems power derived into or focused on one aspect.
When I'm happy, I eat.
Evenly.
Happier, I eat a lot.
Yeah.
A lot more.
For me, it's one of those things where like the end of the day will come around and you're like, damn, I didn't eat anything. I'll have one bite and then I'll recognize how hungry I am.
Yep.
Yeah. Like it hits me all at once.
Yep.
Yeah.
I guess maybe it's a Palestinian gene or something.
No, I was actually gonna say it's probably a growing up with food insecurity thing. But what's it called? The other question that I had is when someone's in that situation, I always find myself, I don't know if you had a similar thought process, but I always find myself where, as he was alluding to at some point, it's like you hit the breaking point where it's like you just want to give up, right? And you're just like, there is like no light at the end of the tunnel. Do you ever sit there and you just think to yourself, if it's not me, then who? Because you really do arrive at a choice sometimes where you're like, it's either I get back in the ring or I give up completely, right? And I feel like for most of us, I feel like you sit there and you go, what am I gonna give up? Like that sounds stupid.
Humans are incredible.
Yeah.
You have no fucking idea. But humans can be very fucking stupid. All the problems happening in the world, that's man-made shit.
Yeah.
All of it. Humans were designed perfectly. And we lost touch. I mean, when a human is under maximum survival mode, you learn a lot.
That's when the best comes out.
You learn a lot about yourself. When you're in complete... Aaron's seen me in survival mode a few times. He's seen it. I am a completely different person. I'm not a nice guy, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
We went through the ringer, when we set out on this journey. And I think the motto, or one of the things that kept running through my mind is like, we need to be able to thrive in chaos with the most little amount of anything. How do we thrive in an environment like that? And we did it. I literally watched this guy tear through walls, break down every obstacle and barrier in front of him. And I'm naturally like that too. So I was like, oh my God, we're alike.
It's like an addiction once you find someone like you. You're like, oh shoot, this is lit. But Adam, where can people find you on social media, man?
I got an Instagram. I'm not the craziest guy on IG. I just started to get into the IG. It's The Vault King, and you'll also see the company page. It's Lone Vault.
You guys want to plug yourselves in too?
Yeah, mine's AK Physique. I'm a vice president at Lone Vault here under Adam.
Mine's just my first and last name, Zaid Mahroum. I'm also executive vice president with Lone Vault. So you can find my Instagram on the Lone Vault page too.
I knew they weren't just bodyguards. I knew it. They had to be
security.
something.
They could be security. Could be.
Yeah, we're brothers. We're like security for each other too.
Yeah.
Well, look, guys, you guys have been awesome. Adam,
you so
it's
much.
been a real pleasure, man. Thank you so much, brother.
No,
I'm
I'm very glad that you are close to us, because I know this is not the first and last time I want to see you. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
We'll run it. But anyways,
iron sharpens iron, brother.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, dude. No, honestly, if you guys are ever down to run a part 2, right, of this talk, we can do it at your facility, man.
Yeah, we could do it. I have a room for this too.
Perfect.
Oh, sick. Okay,
Say
that's
less,
what does
dude.
it. Let's run it.
Yalla.